This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
GameWorn Radio is on the air.
Hey! Chilton scores! Up in the Cordova, baby! We're going bowling. Now, let's go on Moose on a Harley. The fires, he scores! LA face with an Oakland booty. Scores! Make me a bicycle. They score! Bowmeister paid that man his money.
GameWorn Radio.
Hey everybody, it's Derek, GameWorn Radio, part of GameWorn.us, and I'm here with Paul, Doc, Dan, myself. We're going to be talking about team sales, end-of-year wrap-ups, any sort of like sale, jersey auctions that teams do at the end. Apologize if you guys hear crying in the background. My son apparently does not want to go to sleep, so there's that going on. Also, you'll notice today I am wearing a jersey because our friend Casey could not be here, and I figured I would wear it in his honor. He is busy watching the Penguins get beat by the Caps right now. Anywho, thank you guys for joining tonight. I know there's a game on that everybody wants to watch, but I appreciate you being on.
I don't care.
Your team's gone. It's cool.
Yep, unfortunately.
It happens, man. I mean, Dan ain't gonna like what we have to say about what's going on right now anyway, so it's all good.
I got the game on. You guys can't. Whatever.
I'm enjoying it.
I like it. Alright, I think Matt Miller might join in, but I think he's just going to listen. So I'm going to go ahead and get him added. But yeah, this is like my favorite time of the year and my least favorite time of the year. The team sales.
Christmas for Derek.
You know, the first couple times was fun. And then here's the thing. You know, I generally do have a good time at the sales, getting to meet people and talk to people and everything like that, right? And it wasn't until the first time that I wrote the article about I didn't get something that I wanted and I wasn't thrilled. You know, if you don't get something that you want, you're not going to be happy about it. It's not like, oh yeah, I didn't get what I wanted. I'm so happy right now, right? So I was like, you know, I write articles and I put my opinion in them, and I like to write about how I feel, and I believe I have a right to be able to express that opinion, and that's what I do. So I wrote an article pretty much recanting how I felt throughout the process. And so I have people calling me names and talking shit about this article, and it's like, I don't know where everybody goes off to get like their perception of what happened based on this article. Like, I thought I wrote it really well. I was like, this is what happened, this is how I felt, and this is what I was going to do, or prepared to do. And I mean, I didn't feel I put any sort of spin on there thinking that I was entitled, or it should have been me getting these jerseys. I was under the interpretation when I wrote it that I was just like, you know, that's the way things go. I was disappointed, and that's how things happen. And I didn't think I treated anybody unfairly. I didn't think I treated anybody poorly. And I made a friend with the person who beat me out on the jerseys fair and square. That was that, right? And I've got people like messaging me and dogging the shit out of me, right, for writing this article. And my initial reaction, and I can't even remember what forum it was on. It was like Ice Jerseys forum or something. What was that? Have you guys ever heard of that? Ice Jerseys or something like that? There's a guy on there, and he basically was slamming the shit out of me, calling me like an entitled little brat and this, that, and the other. I'm just like, dude, I don't know where you're getting this from. Like, you read an article that has an opinion of how I felt, or like, it's not even an opinion at that point. It's like, this is how I felt. So, it's funny because like a year after that, the dude private messaged me on that forum, which I had never used before. We just saw Matt, and now Matt went away. Hi, Matt. But yeah, he messaged me like a year later, right, after I had no activity on that forum, and he was just like, I reread what you wrote, and I apologize for the things I said. I see your point of view, blah, yada, yada, yada. And basically apologized, and I was like, oh, that's cool and nice of that person. But it's like, shit like that happens all the time in this hobby, where people just, they read something, they put their own, like, connotation behind it, and then they run with it, and it manifests and it builds up this idea that they have of a person before they even get all the facts. Great reasoning. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, of some mishaps over the week. But I mean, that brings us to the topic of team sales. The Red Wings sale is this weekend, the 13th. And it's getting switched up a little bit. It's very interesting to see how that goes. I know the Sharks are having their sale in a little while. I don't know the exact date, but it's because you're not going anymore, Paul.
Not only that, it's also going to be, well, most likely it'll be once the Barracuda are done with the playoffs, since they combine both team sales.
Yeah, you usually buy a crap ton of shit because a lot of people ask you to get whatnot, and I mean, you run up a pretty big tab, but unfortunately, you're not going to go this year. I always look forward to seeing the pictures that you pull from the sale, because they let you in a little bit early. You get to see a little bit of behind the scenes and the before everybody's in snapshots and whatnot. I always thought that was super cool. I'm rather disappointed that I don't get to see that this year.
Sorry, Derek.
God, Paul, way to disappoint him.
Yeah,
I might have to write an article about it, and people will call me an asshole.
that will work.
Or you could just, put out your own PR press release unrelated to me, and people will just say I wrote it. There's always that option too.
Much easier than you think.
Yeah. So a lot of you guys might, based on reading some of the articles that I was such a major asshole writing about the previous Red Wing sales. So it used to be like, if you had a season ticket holder pass, right, you could get in an hour early and you just go and get your jerseys and whatnot, right? Well, this year, things are a little bit different. So check it out. The season ticket holder thing applies, but it only applies to the named season ticket holder on the account. So if you split, say, 4 seats with your buddy and you get 2 and he gets 2, whoever actually pays the bill to the team itself gets to go. So if your name isn't the one paying the bill, but your buddy's is, he gets to go. And he can't transfer that added benefit to you. So it's him or none. It doesn't matter how many seats you have. Say you theoretically bought out the entire arena, you'd be the only person allowed to go to the sale.
That's kind of screwed up.
Yeah, so that's fun. But there's that. And then the other interesting piece of information is everybody is only able to purchase one 16-17 jersey at a time. So once you get yours, that's done. And the only time you can buy more than one jersey, I think, is after they open it up to phone calls at 2. I might be wrong on the exact time, but the 10 o'clock door swings for the season ticket holders and the 11 o'clock door swings for the general public will be limited to one current year jersey per person. So
But no other limits as far as any other gear?
Yeah, no. Yeah, it should be open up on that. So it'd be really interesting. And there's an additional, like, we'll call it a half set, because they're archiving the set 2 Reds, and they wore 2 sets this year. So, I usually tote the line, like, the Red Wings only wear 1 set a year. Well, this year they wore 2. I think they switched, like, right after the All-Star game. So there's, normally it would be 2 sets of red, 2 sets of white. So there's going to be 2 sets of white and 1 set of red. So there's actually going to be more current year jerseys this year for people to pick from. So not only do you have the addition of more jerseys, so an extra entire set of team jerseys in a specific color, but you have the rule of 1 per person. So kind of it's a give and a take thing. So like for me, I like to get the Glendennings, but I'm going to be limited to 1, so I have to, hopefully after the season ticket holders there'll be some of them, and I'll have to pick and choose as to which one that I can purchase myself. And The other benefit, I suppose, is I ain't got to be there early. I don't feel a need to have to go there early. I'll get there an hour before the public doors open, maybe an hour and a half, so I can bullshit with some of the guys I know that are going in the season ticket holder line. But there's going to be so many jerseys there, and with it limited to one per person, I don't think there's going to be a crap ton of season ticket holders. And to be honest, with the way the team played, I don't think there's going to be as many people showing up to the sale this year. The team didn't even make the playoffs. It was the first year the team didn't make the playoffs in 25 years. So unfortunately, Facebook cut us off, and I can't go live again. I don't know why. So we're just going to go ahead and record the rest and talk about what we were talking about. So where we last left off was how I don't think that the patches will increase the demand for the jerseys. I think it's going to be a little bit lighter, which is going to allow us to essentially show up later. I know in previous years we kind of had to get there a little early. I don't see any reason why we don't have to, with the limitations, have to show up any more than an hour, hour and a half before the doors open for the public. So I'm probably going to get there and BS with some of the guys that are in line for the season ticket holder stuff, go in, grab my one jersey and call it. So that's really what it comes down to, is I think it's going to be, it's kind of a mixed bag. You only get the one jersey, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of headache, or at least as much headache involved. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Sometimes my predictions are good, sometimes they're bad. So we'll see how it goes. I know when we got dropped off there, we were talking a little bit about some of the other sales that were going on. Dan, you were talking about the Admiral sale?
Yeah, the Admirals is this Saturday. There's going to be no game-worn jerseys there from what I understand. I'm going to try to get in early to see if I can take pictures and kind of do what Paul did in the past, see if I can get some pictures for the website, just so people can see what they're like, see the layouts. The last time it's been probably 5 years since the Admirals had one. They did it in one of their little meeting rooms. It wasn't a very big area, so there won't be. You could probably take one or two pictures and get the whole shot of everything in there. I do remember the gear that was used was decently priced. A lot of people in there buying the gear for beer leagues and stuff. So, and I think their practice jerseys will be there. And I think they're going to get rid of a lot of stuff because they're going to a new logo next year and new colors from what I understand. And, of course, everybody knows we're now with the Predators. So I don't know what all they're going to redo, but I imagine they're probably trying to sell off everything that had the old logo on it. They auctioned off the rug on the Dash app that was in the locker room. So they're selling everything with the old logo.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Banners.
Yeah, I'm imagine they're going to sell everything with the old logo. I imagine is going to be in there. That's my guess.
I don't know what my thing is for banners, but I've been having a thing lately, so you have to let me know about that.
Well, what you need one for the basement? Need one for the basement or something?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna line the basement walls with banners. I don't know how yet, but I think that's gonna be what we're gonna try and do.
All right, well, I'll keep my eye out for one, and somebody wants something, let me know. If they want a practice jersey or something.
Hell yeah.
Well, and that's something to think about too for the NHL equipment sales. Is with the switch over to Adidas next year. I think you'll see a lot of things in the sale.
It's just gonna be a ton of stuff. I mean, all the training camp jerseys, practice jerseys, like any jerseys that they have, everybody's going to be liquidating their stuff. Everything's got to go.
Yeah. Because I wonder if the teams that do in-game silent auctions or in-game jersey raffles or whatever teams do, I wonder if they're going to be allowed to sell the Reebok ones or if they have to get rid of all of them because they won't be able to sell them in the arena. Game-worn ones, is what I'm talking about.
I would think they'd still be able to, because it's just branding for new stuff. I would think if they wanted to auction off the old stuff, there's nothing that says that would be against it. It's just that the players can't wear that branding on the ice.
Yeah.
And all the fans are going to want the new stuff, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the old stuff, so.
No, not at all.
Now, does Adidas? I wonder if Adidas is going to affect the lower levels, the AHL, the ECHL, and that.
They're completely separate. They got different contracts. It's like they're wearing Reebok right now in the NHL, and down low. I
CCM.
know it's sister company or whatever, but they're wearing CCM.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any relation with them. I mean, sometimes they even wear AK, so I don't think it's necessarily contracted out. And we were talking about some of the teams that already had their sales. So you have the Griffins that did their sale. You have the Vancouver Canucks, they did their sale. And, you know, some of the teams, they when they have their sale, they have it for use prices. So you go there and you can buy a bunch of stuff that you want to use yourself. Or they have it for memorabilia prices, which is generally what you see, like the Red Wings are a high caliber NHL team playing for. But sometimes you get lucky. Like I've gotten a pair of pads for as low as $100 for a set. That's unheard of. So you know I'm wearing those pads.
Oh hell yeah!
$100 a set of pads. It's nuts. I used to get a ton of sticks from the Sharks. I mean, they do their stuff good, and I like how they do their sale. Of course, this year I ain't gonna be getting anything. Yeah.
He's already asleep over there.
Yeah, I'm just ignoring him. Safer that way.
Can't get him to go to the sale, man.
And most of the, I mean, because I've seen between the different groups, seen people posting for stuff. I haven't seen a lot of people posting prices, even when people ask. I don't know if it's because in case they want to resell stuff, they're not wanting to put what they originally paid or what. But I've not seen a whole lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, gloves were this much, helmets were this much, whatever." I've just not seen a lot of that.
Man. People are really funny about that stuff. A lot of people don't want people to know what they paid for things. I mean, not even just in gear, but just in general. People don't want it to be out there. Even if it's like completely public thing, they still don't want other people to know. It's really funny. I don't know. People are a funny thing. People are a really funny thing. It's kind of like a thing that happened this weekend that took up more of my time than was absolutely necessary. So the email goes out about the sale for the Red Wings, and I get it. I look at it. I'm like, all right, that's the info. And Paul, he got it as well, and he posted his to let people know about the email, and added a nice little snippet in there to kind of poke fun, because he knows I want Glendenning, so if I saw that no Glendennings would be available, he'd get a little bit of a rise out of me, and he put Mantha in there because everybody under the sun want Mantha, right? And then he added Smith in there to make it look like a joke, and he's like, all right, these 3 players will also be taken by the Red Wing archives, and no, they won't be available at the sale. Well, somebody decided that they would point the finger at me, saying that I sent Paul that email, and Paul posted it, and they were taking it as truth, and I was the devil, and I'm a terrible person, and I'm just like, I didn't do it. I had nothing to do with it. Maybe before you start pointing the finger, you should get your facts right. And it finally got to the point where I was just like, dude, I was pissed. I was like, I dropped it. I was just like, if you want to think like that, then fuck you. And that's where I left it. It was pretty hardcore. I ended up talking to the dude after, and come to find out, apparently my MO in his eyes is I'm a bully in the hobby, because I don't make friends with people at the sale like Matt, who has his mom in the background, or anybody catch that? I don't make friends with people like Matt, or Steven, who that article was about, or whatever. But I mean, it's an extra level of drama that's so unnecessary. And then Christy found out about the modifications to the email or whatever, and Paul ended up blasting her off an email real quick, like, hey, I did it as a joke, because who the fuck in their right mind would think the Red Wings would want to keep a Smith jersey?
Not just a Smith jersey, all the Smith
all the
jerseys.
Smith jerseys, right?
I was shocked people took it seriously, and that it got back to so quickly.
I knew it was fake as soon as you put Glendenning on there. I was like, yep, that's a target at me. That's to get his goat. But the unproven theory was that was Derek's ploy to try and throw people off the beaten path to not go to the sale if they wanted to get a Glendenning. Because I'm vindictive like that. That was my way to try and ensure that I would get them, you know? Because one jersey per person would get me all of them.
Yes, this people only half read crap, and that's part of it. Even when I talked in the first clip that we had, or we talked off the air, I guess, before we started, went to a friend of mine down in St. Louis area had a Blues garage sale last weekend. Had a ton of player issued stuff, stadium giveaways, all that kind of stuff. Posted it early in the week saying, "Hey, the sale's this day. Very little information to be given out ahead of time. I'll post pictures." She's like, "It's too much to list. The prices will be on them when you get there. Here's the address and all that." And I've been friends with her for a while. We've done other deals and that, and saw people commenting in the post, sent PM, all this crap. I sent her a message. I'm like, "How bad are you getting killed?" And she's like, "It's ridiculous. People don't want to read. People were trying to make backroom deals all the way up, and then people got pissed later in the day because the garage sale happened. A lot of people showed up and kind of posted things they got, commented on it, said, 'Hey, it was really great coming out,' all this." And there were so many butthurt people like, "Well, the prices were too high," or "I heard this," or "I heard that." I'm like, you guys weren't even flipping there. And the prices were actually super cheap. I mean, the most expensive thing she had was a Tarasenko white, I think it's a white game-used helmet, $400, which depending on who you talk to, that's either low or high or whatever. But it sold. The first guy in line wanted it.
Doesn't sound like it's too high of a price to me then.
Nope, there was a Doug Waite helmet that didn't last very long either. It was even signed on top. But yeah, other people complaining. Well, I heard her prices were too high, and I'm like, where the hell were you even there? Oh no, it was too far of a drive, and I'm like, I drove an hour and a half to get down there, and people will bitch if you gave out free game used jerseys. People would bitch because it didn't have enough wear or something. You're never gonna make everybody happy no matter what you do.
Dude, game worn jerseys is like politics. It truly is. Yeah, I don't know. I try to separate myself from as much of the drama as I can, and it just bugs me being brought into it when I have nothing to do with it. Like, think about me, feel about me, however you want, but before you, like, start saying I did this or that, or you want to drag me into something that I literally have no idea is even going on at the time, like, just fact check. Like, if you think I'm the biggest asshole on the planet and you just want to make sure that I'm actually that big of an asshole, send me a message. That's all I ask. You know, find out for yourself. The he said, she said in this hobby is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's just like anything else. Do your research on the people. If you're unsure or think people are trying to pull a fast one, you want to make sure they're reputable, then check around. There's plenty of people, or search the big sites. There's a nice search feature in Facebook for inside the groups. If people want to bitch or, oh, hey, they're great, I've done all these deals, whatever, ask around. Don't just make assumptions because you've heard something somewhere. I mean, everybody knows you love Glendennings, but you're not going to be that much of an ass to throw that out there.
Most people don't even know that I didn't get the Centennial Classic Glendenning. I mean, ultimately I did, which I guess I'm announcing, but I mean, I didn't get it and nobody really knew. I mean, I put out, here's what I got. It was the Gros, not the Glendenning, but it's not like it was a huge deal. Like, people build the stuff up in their mind more than they really need to, and it's like, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, everything I see about this person or that posted is, and then it just adds on drama on drama on drama. And like, these sales are such an awesome example of it. Like, what happened, what was it, last year or something? Somebody had told somebody else, this is what happened at the sale, and then somebody told somebody else, this is what happened at the sale, and you guys are such assholes to this person. And then I went to that person, I was like, hey, why do you think we were such assholes? And they're like, we didn't, we thought you were enjoyable. I was like, oh, that's not what I heard. So, I mean, just the he said, she said stuff's gotta stop, man. It really does. Let's just all enjoy the hobby. We can all get along. I mean, all the stuff that we get when we go to the sales and all that, it's all borrowed stuff anyway. Like, you're not gonna die with this shit. That's my piece.
Yeah,
on it.
and
I mean,
and
the sales
even
are fun to go to. I like to go to the sales because I like to meet people. I mean, it's almost like a little mini, like, collector gathering thing. I like to go into it and I like to say, you know, this is what's going on with me. I'm here to collect this. I'm here to get that. You know, if I could, I'd like to get this. And I've asked people at the sale, hey man, what are you here for? And everybody's so super secret about it all the time. Like, I can't tell you because then you might get it from me. It's like, no, here's what I want. It's like, damn. It's like,
is it storming?
somebody's plunging a toilet.
No, just get nice, man.
So it's like the girls last year. Like, they couldn't tell us. Right? And then it comes to find out that they wanted the thing that nobody else wanted, and it was like this insane, super secret, big deal. I'm just like,
was that the Larkin? Was that the Larkin they wanted?
Yeah, none of us wanted them. We knew the prices were going to be way more than we wanted to pay. None of us even wanted them. You know, they busted through the door, ran over, snatched up all the Larkins when we were looking at them like, really? That's what you wanted? You could have been in the door first. Like,
well,
that's
and
how much we didn't care.
And that's the big thing is when you get in line, because I didn't make it to the blue sale last year. I was out of town, but the year before I got down there and was like 10 or 12th in line and knew or at least were acquainted with most of the people that were up in front of me. And it was like, hey, what are you guys hunting for? Some guys were wanting even they played goalie. So they wanted see if they had chest protectors, and there was a couple, 2 or 3 of them there. They grabbed those. Of all the things that they went for, that's what they wanted. Is they wanted that and some other goalie gear. So it wasn't not all of them were, oh, I'm going after this player or whatever. They wanted some specific gear they knew they could get cheap. Other guys wanted helmets, or certain players gloves, helmets, whatever. But if you're nice about it, I mean, yeah, sometimes you're going to be hunting for the same stuff, and if you grab it for the other person, as long as you're not punching them in the face to get it, you know what? That happens. But at the end of the day, it's just gear. Like Derek, like you said, you're not gonna, nobody's gonna die with it or anything. I mean,
I think it makes for a more pleasant experience. Like when Steven was there to get the Glendennings that one year, that he still has, by the way. You know, he was straight up with me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm here for the Glendennings." And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm that guy." And I mean, that kind of broke the ice right there. And I mean, we kind of knew it was up, and he was the first in the door, and he got them. I mean, fair and square, and we knew it for the rest of the morning. And you know, it gave us something to talk about, and then we talked about other things. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. I just don't see a point in being super secret. Like, I like to be honest about as much stuff as I humanly can. And I like to talk to people, I suppose. I don't know, it just makes time go by faster too, especially when you're waiting in a line like that.
yeah, especially if it's a lot of hours. I'll be curious to say when because I know the Blues one I think will be bigger popular this year because they're going to have the Winter Classic gloves and pants, or at least they should have gloves, pants, helmets, all that kind of crap there. So those will be a popular thing people want because there's still a big question mark of who's going to sell those jerseys. Is it the team or is it Fanatics?
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
And I played in a tournament over the weekend and talked to a friend of mine on another team who was buying some jerseys through them and got screwed over on one, and just nothing's changed over there. But I'm hoping maybe the Blues will sell these on their own. But I mean that'll draw more people as people want Winter Classic gear, even if it's issued gear, just to get. And I'm in that boat. I'd like to have at least get a pair of gloves out of that, just because they were sweet looking, and maybe some pants. But
maybe it'll be moldy.
Yeah. God.
Oh, that was a mess, man. Hey, real quick, Dan, what's the score of that game?
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't.
They're fucking blowing it.
I don't
They're
even need
blowing
you to
it.
answer it because Casey's current status says, I could have sworn Dan Bilzema has been fired, but this looks exactly like one of his Penguins teams.
They're blowing this series. They're blowing it. It's
What a
fucking
shame.
ridiculous.
3-0 now, Derek.
Washington needs a cup.
Washington doesn't need a damn cup. Shut up.
Washington needs a cup.
No.
Give it to Washington or Anaheim.
No.
All right, yeah. So, yeah, when the season wraps down, there's a lot of cool stuff that goes on. The Crunch are selling or auctioning off a set of their jerseys that they're not using right now, and they're going to go deep into the playoffs here in the AHL. Griffins had their sale. I mean,
Bridgeport's got theirs up now on eBay.
Bridgeport, is that Sound Tigers?
Yeah, the Islanders AHL team, theirs is up now.
Nice.
I just saw that today.
So much happens at one time in this like small area, this small time frame. It's just like pile drive. Like when you see all the mail posts and everything throughout the years, because people are trading here and there, or like the trickle down into the stores. Sometimes, you know, players will retire gear throughout the season. They'll get it in the store and they'll just release it right away. But at the end of the season, man, after they clear out the lockers and things like that, there's so much that hits the market. It's like every which way you turn, there's just so much shit. It's pretty sweet. And the thing is, we don't even see it all because, you know, people go in there to buy stuff, to use stuff. Or, I mean, they're not even GameWorn jersey collectors. They're just gear collectors, and we don't necessarily hit all the gear collectors that are around. It's a wild time. It's like, it's my favorite time, but my least favorite time, because it's fun to see all the sales that are going on. It's fun to compare prices and things like that, but like at the same time, I feel like people pit themselves against other people for absolutely no reason.
True.
I don't know. It'll be fun. Curious to see how this Red Wings format will play out, and if you're really gonna write that article about going to that sale, you know, I'll post it for you.
Yeah. I think the Red Wing, I think it's interesting. Maybe, you know, won't be so crazy or hectic. You know, why they did it that way. I'm curious why maybe they had some complaints. Maybe they, you know, wanted to try something different. Being the last season of Joe, maybe they thought there'd be hostile crowd, so why not try to control a little bit more so we have less issues.
I don't know. In retrospect, I mean, one of the big things that I know is they always say that their season ticket holders always have first crack at the stuff, which is cool and all, and I like that, but it makes it hard for like either people that aren't season ticket holders but really good collectors and spend a lot of money. It kind of like is like, that's cool, you spent so much money with us throughout the year, but we don't really care because we promised our season ticket holder stuff, and you know, they have the right to do that, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think catering to season ticket holders and like your hardcore collectors is smart, but to each their own. The other side of it is it makes it really hard on people who aren't the actual season ticket holder, the person who pays for it. But I definitely see why they do it, because every year, you know, they kind of say like the season ticket holders get in first, and that's been true, but technically it hasn't, because as long as you had the season ticket holder email, you could still get in. So some people in the past have been able to distribute it or get it, or like some of us did get them because we were really good collectors and things like that. So I do see why they're doing what they're doing. I just think the RSVP system is very interesting. So yeah, I didn't even talk about that. They're having you RSVP in to get your name on a list of which they'll check at a specific time and give you a wristband to get in. So it's very interesting. Completely understand why they're doing it though. I can't fault them for that. It just is different. It's a little bit of a new thing, if you will. I don't know. It'll be a fun time. We'll see how it goes. I might not post anything about it until after the whole thing's over, though, because every time I do anything live from the thing, everybody gets upset at me.
Well, that's standard operating procedure.
Well, we expect you to be posting live.
We expect people to get mad at you.
Every fucking time I do anything live from anywhere, everybody gets mad. I just even when I post, actually when I post anything, if I just post something, somebody's gonna get mad.
No one got mad at you at the expo.
Yeah, that's true.
That was technically live.
Dude, I wanted to go live on that though.
Oh, it just wasn't enough time.
Yeah,
And stupid, the internet was totally crap
garbage. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to 2020 though. We got to start planning that. I mean, we got fucking 3 of the planners here right now.
Yeah. Makes that easy.
Yeah, it'll be a good time though. I'm really looking forward to that one. That was a really, really good expo. Speaking of, Migraines is coming up soon, yeah?
Yeah, July, right?
Yeah. $40 to get in. Entrance to the warehouse before the summer sale starts online. Hockey Hall of Fame being there, things like that. There you go. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to talk about. I mean, I'm saving all my mojo, all my GameWorn whatever for the weekend when I have to go. Well, when I choose to go to the sale, see everybody, talk about jerseys, make frenemies, make enemies. Get
just walk up and
my words. You know.
Just walk up and tell them you made a deal to purchase all the jerseys ahead of time, so there's actually not going to be any at the sale. Did you get the new email?
Dude, I don't even know if anybody could cut that deal. I don't know if there's an amount of money that they would take to do something like that.
Yeah.
Or at least if there is, it wouldn't be feasible. Or something that I'd want to do, to be honest. But it would be fun. Or funny. I mean, maybe
or a riot. Yeah.
Maybe if I was loaded and I really wanted to be that asshole that everybody thinks that I am, I'd do it. I'm a pretty nice guy. I think so.
Well, and as more of these sales come out, we'll post them or cover them or at least get the info out on them. And
no doubt. I mean, I'd love to see more pictures of some of the sales that some of these guys go to. You get to read the stories, like, I went to the sale and these were the prices and this, that, and the other. I'd love to see pictures. I want to see how stuff is laid out. Because in my mind, I just compare everything to the shark sale. Everything.
That's a classy way to do it.
Oh, I love that one. Just the format and, like, where they do it, the space, the layout. Ooh, it's awesome. Why aren't you going, Paul?
Head out here for it this year. You can go.
Dude, I wish. Do you know how hard it is to have a 2-year-old in an odd work schedule between you and your wife? And yeah, it's a mess over at my place right now. I can't even get done house stuff that I need to get done. I'm lucky I'm done with the rink and can actually do stuff on it. Oof.
Like take your high class shots that you do.
Hey, dude. That was showmanship.
I thought it was some different words, but we'll go with that. That works too.
You don't like my leg kick? It's showmanship.
That should be NHL level training right there. Is dude, how you kick that out.
I was thinking about cutting together a list of or a video of like all the players over the years that have had super high leg kicks, just so I can be like, look, man, it's showmanship. I'm pretty sure Gretzky did that. I will show you.
We'll have to look.
I'll show you a picture. I'll give it to you. It's got that leg kick, man.
Well, I'm glad the arena's come together for you, but yeah, it's crazy. I'll have to post some pictures on the forum tonight or later this week. I got a North American Hockey League jersey in the other day. It was a team called the CompuWare Ambassadors. Illich used to own those as well. They were CompuWare's a company based out of Detroit too, I believe.
Oh, they have CompuWare Arena in Plymouth.
Yeah, I think that's where they played out of, but they were with the North American Hockey League from like 94, 95 through like probably 2002 or 3 at least. But I have picked up one of their dark jerseys from the 90s into the early 2000s. I don't know how many years they recycled these over, but this thing has I lost count at the number of repairs and patches and crap that it's got. I mean, the whole front has just sewing repairs everywhere.
Really?
I like picking up some of those junior stuff because they only wore 2 a season, but the CompuWare always recycled them. I'll have to post that one. It's kind of interesting to see that many repairs in it.
Well, boys, I think that's going to be it for tonight. Think about some topics for the next time. Hopefully we won't have some technical difficulties, yeah?
Hey?
That'd be good.
Maybe we'll see about doing some stuff live from the Red Wing sale.
You know you're going to do it. Just
it's
inevitable.
Yeah. It's that documentation thing that's in me that's like, I'm here. Let's just talk about what's going on. Whatevs. All right. Well, we're going to get this uploaded. Thanks for anybody who listens to this in the future. Sorry about technical difficulties. And we'll get a topic for next time. Stay tuned to GameWorn.us for all your GameWorn hobby needs. Yeah, rock out, Dan.
Rock out, dude. Penguins getting their asses whipped. I mean, smoke checked.
Josh.
Casey's going to be all over that because he doesn't like. I don't think he likes Marc-Andre Fleury.